Hey everyone, welcome back to Let's Go to Be a Java Programmer. Today is day 18 of our coding journey. In today's session, we'll explore methods in Java. Let's get started. Okay, so we had a look at methods and objects with the example of adding two numbers, right? Okay, so let me remove this for now's sake. Let me also remove this class. Okay. Now, why we need class? Already I have a class here with a method. Now this is known as the main method, and actually this acts as the starting point of anything. Now let's say we have a race, and for any race or for anything we have a starting point, right? And similarly for this Java program we have the starting point as this main method, and only from this our program starts to get executed. Okay, so this is known as our main method. Now, why we need different classes? Why don't we put things all together inside this class? And that's what I'm having the answer for it. Now, let's say we have a car. Now, we usually divide things into modules. So, a car also gets divided into different modules, like it has a four wheels, the steering part, the seats, the music player, and etc. and etc. Right? So, in order to make a program even more understandable, we use classes. Also, for code reusability purpose, we use different classes, and classes usually contains behaviors, right? So, what is a behavior? Now, as we saw, wheels is a module which is as a class in Java program. So what does this wheels do? These wheels moves, makes the vehicle to move. So this is an behavior, this is an action. So any action we will be uh, performing these actions inside a method, inside a class. Okay, so any method will have actions, that is behavior. So this behavior will be executed with the help of methods, and this is known as method. Okay, so now let us create a car module. So for now's sake, let me give the class name as what module shall we have? Okay, a car has a music player, so let the class name be as music player. Okay. Okay, now this music player has some function or behavior to do, right? And that behavior or action will be executed with the help of the method. Now, how the method structure will be? It usually has an access specifier. For now's sake, let us keep the access specifier as public. In the further videos, you'll have a great overview and a detailed concept of what access player is. Okay. Now, after public, the return type, what it is going to return. Now, music player, um, the written data type can be of anything. It can be of integer, a string, or also I don't want to return anything. If it doesn't return anything, we can state it as void. Okay, public void, and we need to have a method name. Now, what does this music player does? It plays. So let us have the method name as plays. That's it. Now this is method creation. Now we can have any action inside this method. Let us now, for now sake, let us have as music plays. Okay, control S. Now how we will call this method? Yes, to call any of your friend you need something, right, to call them. If you want to call them by phone, you need an object. Phone is an object to call them. So in order to call this class, you need an object to be created, right? So as seen in the last video, this is how object creation will be done. Your class name, the object name with a new keyword, and again your class name. And how your method will be called? Your object name with your method. Now this is how your program works. Now let us compile this program. Compiled, run, music plays. Yes. Also, it is not necessary that a class must contain only one method. It can contain any number of methods. Let me create another class. Class car. Let me remove this class, music player. Okay. Let me create a class car. Now let me buy a car. Okay, let me have the method of buying a car. So the access specifier public. Now buying a car. So let me return the price of the car. So since the price is an integer, let us write the return type as int, price as the method name. Okay. So it has to enter something inside it. Int. What to give? Okay. Now what shall I give? Okay, for now sake, let me pass this parameter. Return 0. Okay. Also we can have void. What can be as void? The music player again. Let us also have another method which returns a string. What returns a string? Break. Okay, so not break necessarily. Let's have break for now. Yeah, we made a mistake here. Here must be the. Okay, that's correct. Okay. Now break is a keyword. We cannot be using it, and that's why we have an error here. So okay, let me remove this. Let me have the string here. Okay. Okay, so now let me keep it as simple here. If I'm passing the parameter as num, let's say int cost. Okay. If cost. Okay. Now car cannot be of the price 100 or 200. It must be something greater than, or it must be a 4-digit integer, right? So let me give, if the parameter is greater than 1000, then it must ask me to, then it should print as car is bought. Okay. Now Now anything less than this, uh, it will not fetch you a car. So let me print as no car for this cost. Okay, now this is simple. And also here is a music player. Here we have created two methods with which returns a string and also something which returns a uh, void. Okay, so I made a mistake here. Since it returns a string, you're not supposed to put system.out.println, you should put as return. Since a string is a sequence of characters of any characters, it should be inside the quotes. Okay, since we are returning string, you cannot be printing it system.out.println, and we are supposed to use return. Okay, let me also have a method which returns integer value. Okay, what to say, the petrol level. Okay, let me also have a condition for this. If, what to say, mm-hmm. Okay, let's just return 0. Okay, and we should call let's create object for the class. Car object new car of. Okay, now let's start calling it obj dot music player of. Okay, now here what you need to see is, since we have just given it here as void, it straight away prints system.out.println. But since we have if we have given the return types as int or string, what you're supposed to do is you have to put it in a variable, so only then the value which has the return will get displayed. Let me show you. Object p price of. Okay, so we need to pass a parameter here since we have given as int cost. Let me give the cost here as, it's not necessary to have the variable name here as cost. Let me give it as 100. Let me also pass the parameter here int cost. Control S. Okay, now it has. Okay, what's the error here? I have initialized this outside the main method, so that's the issue. Just be careful in doing all these things. Clear. Let's compile it. Music plays. Yes, we have just given a string p, so we need to print it here, right? p. Now it should. Now what the output will be? Now first this one will be called, so music plays will be the output, and since our value is 100, it will give us no car for this cost. I haven't given control S, sorry. Compile. Perfect. So please kindly don't forget to compile it after each and every time. Okay. Now let me show you this without putting it inside the variable. Okay. Since it has a return type as string, it will not give you anything if it doesn't put it inside any. Now compile it. Don't forget to compile. Yes, because since the return is here like this, you need to catch it in a variable and you need to print that variable. Now we need to do the same thing here for int petrol also, since the return type here is int, and that's the issue. That's all. Okay. There's also something important which I wanted to tell you is here we have f, right? So what if I give value greater than 1000? It would print this, and since here I have no else here, it would also print here the same, no card for this. Now let's check it out how it works. Let me put this as 2000, something a greater value. Control S. Let's compile this. Okay, so I haven't cached this in string p is equal to object.price. Yes, now let's print this. Okay, Control S. Now just have the answer in your mind. What I've given the value is 20,000, so it just checks this condition here. It returns, since this return is outside if, and also it doesn't have an else part, it is supposed to print the return also, right? But let's check it. But it has printed only car is bought. Why? Because inside a method, when it meets one return, it just comes out of the method. This is how it works. Now, since I have given the 100 as value, which doesn't satisfy this if value, it doesn't get into it, and it just meets this return and comes out. The same thing goes. Okay, now let me also have many returns here as return 1, return. Actually, it is return 3. Okay, Control S. Actually, as soon as it meets here, instead of the object price, let me have the petrol. Also not passing any parameters inside this. Actually, it is not supposed to have many returns, but whenever you have something like this, it just encounters and comes out if it is needs one return. Okay, just keep this in your mind. That's all for day 18. Today we learned about methods in Java, their structure and how to use them. Methods are essential for writing clean, modular, and reusable code. Practice creating your own methods and see how they can simplify your programs. Tomorrow, we'll continue with more advanced Java topics. Thank you for joining me on day 18 of Let's Code to be a Java programmer. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get notified about our daily coding sessions. See you tomorrow for day 19. Happy coding!